Hello, my name is Duncan and welcome to Back Away from the Donkey and Baft Books. So today is the second day of Bookmas, as I've christened it. For those of us whose lives are too dull to do Vlogmas. So as I said, my plan is to try and do a video a day. I will be doing, as I said yesterday, try and do my normal videos, but some of the videos are obviously going to be really off the cuff and it's what I can think about to do for that day. So today I just decided to show some books about science fiction and science fiction writers. I just thought it might be quite interesting, so I just grabbed a few off the shelf that I've got here and I just thought I might show you. But I'm going to start with the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction. I just realised that that cover on it might be a bit shiny, so let me just remove that. So I've got a protective cover on the dust jacket, which I will show you there if you can see it against the shine, and that's the back. But actually inside it is quite beautiful. And you can see the back of it. And this is edited by Robert Holdstock. If you don't know Robert Holdstock, he was a really good science fiction writer, wrote some fantasy. His famous one is Mathago Wood, which is a stunning book. And this also it's got foreword by Isaac Asimov, and it's a mixture of about writers and about general science fiction. It's not like encyclopedia, it's just sort of lots of general information, but we have sections on art. I'll tell you what all the sections are here. Just a good looking book. This book dates, by the way, from about 1978, I think, so just after 78, 79, just after Star Wars first came out. It'll always be Star Wars to me, because when I first saw it, that's what it was, before they decided to rename it A New Hope. Yeah, we've got locations, the marriage of science fiction, major themes, pulps and magazines, screen trips, machinist hero, alien encounter, art and artist, fictional fact, outer limits, new wave, yesterday, today and tomorrow, and a catalogue. I'll show you that there. And we've got things from films to art. There's a list of magazines at the back, which I really like. The art section is pretty good. Find some nice good ones there. That's the cover. That was the cover of one of Anne McCaffrey's Dragon books. Wasn't the White Dragon? I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head. The artist. We go through artists here. You know, bits on film, obvious Star Wars, obviously. Some pulp magazines. It's a really good book. It's awesome James Burns artwork, which is the artwork from Two Tales of Eight Tomorrows, which has got the Streets of Ashkelon, which is what that image is for, which I've spoken about before, because it's one of my favourite short stories. And this was, I think, the publishing date on it, because I can't remember it off the top of my head. So it wasn't really sort of encyclopedia, but it's like a broad view of the science fiction. And when I got this, I think I got it for a Christmas present when I was about 10 or 11. And I said that's it, that is the dust jacket on. So that was a general overview of sort of science fiction. I've got another one around there called Sci-Fi Now, which I didn't actually get off the shelf which is another general review, but that's more about films than anything else. Next book I've got here is Hell's Cartographers, which is the best title for any book ever. And the cover's pretty dull because it's an old hardback that was a ex-library book. But this, I will, as much as I want to keep editing to a minimum of this, I will put a picture up of the paperback because I know this is still in print, or a version of it is. And it's basically biographies of, autobiographies of certain science fiction writers writing. And it's put together by Brian Aldiss, you'll find his name around a lot, and Harry Harrison, who were great friends and did a lot of anthologies together. And I will tell you the other writers in here. I can find the list. Yeah, so we have Robert Silverberg, Alfred Bester, Harry Harrison, Damon Knight, Frederick Pohl, Brian Aldiss himself, and some appendices in the back of it. And it's all just little sort of biographies about how they got into science fiction and how they work. We've got some pictures in the middle here of a very young looking Robert Silverberg, with Alfred Bester down below. And there's Harry Harrison and Brian Aldiss there for you. This is still in print and it's a really interesting book. It's easy read as well, and it said it's all these individual writers just telling how they got into science fiction, and so it's a great read if you're like me, if you're, as well as reading science fiction, you're quite interested in the history of it. That's a good one. And now on to one of a single writer, which is Divine Invasions, which is Life of Philip K. Dick, which was the authorized biography, and I think it's really good. It's really well put. Philip K. Dick had a interesting life. I'm amazed nobody's made a film about it. He suffered with severe mental illness issues, which involved him, ended up him using drugs. He got paranoid. He thought the CIA were out to get him at one point. He had visions. It's an incredible life when you read it, and I'm just amazed nobody's ever made a film of it. And you can see a lot of that in his writings and stuff. So it's well worth. And this actually biography, I brought it on release. This one's a bit battered because I've read it a few times. And a picture of him there with a sheep for some reason. And a picture there. Philip K. Dick with a sheep. Not sure why. Phil was sheep, but no beard at this point. You've got no explanation why they got Philip K. Dick there with a sheep. I assume it's something to do with Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, but I've got no idea. Anyway, yes, so if you're interested in Life of Philip K. Dick, that's well worth looking at. I think there's a couple since then, but this was the authorised one. I really think it's well put together. Another book, if you're interested in, especially the Golden Age and stuff, is Frederick Pohl's The Way the Future Was. And this is his almost biography, but it's all about all the writers and that he was involved in and how he developed as a writer. And as with Frederick Pohl, as you would expect, it's beautifully written. There's a line in here, I just put a tab in here that I wanted to read out to, which I just thought was quite funny. And what it's got here is, after my mother came to the conclusion that the New York public school system was proposing to kill her only child with its diseases, she kept me out of school entirely. It helped that we moved so often. Even so, from time to time, a truant officer would come round to complain. She would inform him that she herself was a fully accredited teacher, a graduate of Lehigh State Teachers College, and well able to tutor her son at home. Perhaps she was. I don't remember any lessons, only books in endless supply, but that is not a bad way of getting an education. But I said it's beautifully written, well done. It's all his memoirs, all through the Golden Age, some big names that he's associated with. So that's another book that's well worth looking at. And then I got the biggie here, which was Brian Aldiss' Trillion Year Spree, which is basically a history of science fiction writing. And it was originally published in 1973-74 as Billion Years Spree, and this is the republished one in 86, which is a updated, bigger version. And I said it's a big book. It's 700, nearly 700 pages. See, this is paperback version. I need to one day get a good hardback version because this has been a bit battered. And well researched history of science fiction writers. You go through everything from Frankenstein forward, and if you want to study history of science fiction, if you want to start at one place, I would start with this book. It's an excellent book. Okay. And so yeah, so that's Trillion Year Spree, Brian Aldiss. I'm going to finish off with one that I picked up for my birthday this year that I've not delved into yet, which is a story of classic British science fiction in 100 books. And this was done by the British Library with Mike Ashley as editor. And as I said, if I showed you off earlier, it is a beautiful book. French flaps, lovely paper in it, beautiful done. But what's interesting is they're going through these books, and a lot of them are from writers on, not writers on books, I don't know. You've got the normal, what you'd expect, some H.G. Wells and some Mary Shelley, but it's some of the really older stuff, the turn of the century, 18th, 19th century, that's really interesting. We got through Wells, and then we go to things like William Le Queux, The Invasion of 1910, The Crack of Doom by Robert Crombie, Purple Cloud by M.P. Shire, The Machine Stops by M. Forster, which is a famous one. Some G.K. Chesterton, Rudyard Kipling. Obviously we've got Lost World. H. Rider Haggard, Edward Shanks, George Bernard Shaw. So it's not the really obvious ones all the time. So it's a beautifully presented book. And I said, gorgeously presented. I'm going to hopefully start reading this next year. I haven't decided how I'm going to do this. Whether I'm going to, you know, a lot of the books now I may have read, but there's quite a few I haven't. Am I going to read the books along there? Have I got time to read 100 books along with reading this book? I really haven't decided, but I really need to get around to that one. But yeah, so that's just a few books I've got on sort of the history of science fiction or biographies of certain authors. There's a couple of others I'd like to pick up at some point, but I just thought you might find that interesting. As I said, some of these Bookmas videos are going to be really, really off the cuff because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do a video a day and see what we do. Some of it might be just what I've done here, which was just randomly grab some stuff off my shelves and talk about them. Other days it might be just me and one of my dogs. I don't know. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to be doing my normal pick and mix, which is, if you've not seen my pick and mix ones, which is normally a roundup of my past week's reading and anything I've got and read or seen. So it's a bit more rambly, a bit more general. And I said, I hope you're enjoying these. I'm quite enjoying doing them because I know it's only the second day, but it's quite an interesting thing to do. And I said, if anybody wants to jump on and do their own Bookmas and start following along with me, that's great. But anyway, all done for the moment, and I will speak to you all very soon, which will probably be tomorrow. Thank you very much.